Penn State, Purdue?
Played two very good teams on their home floor, and again, I thought there was a lot of glimpses of good play. Just couldn't sustain it over the course of the set. I thought the first set against Penn State, that's the one I was really looking forward to. And I thought we came out great, and then they got a few, aces and some tricklers off the tape, and that's just kind of the way that the game goes. But from the message from me to the team, it's just we can't overreact in those situations. And then I felt like we played kind of tight and like trying to play perfect almost, but you can't do that. It's not what got us here, and it's not what gets anyone anywhere. It's if you tense up in those moments, it's tough to play freely and be able to play the game that we know how to play. So it was really just it got us out of sources a little bit. I think both teams were excellent serving teams too, and kept us off the net. We always talk about that. And so I feel like again we made a lot of good plays, but just not good enough to get some wins.
I guess after a good run of 4 or 5 games, how do you mentally recover from 2 losses?
It's part of being in the conference. You catch 2 losses whenever, so you got to make sure that you're just good. We just talked about having a great practice this morning. That's all we can control. I can't control anything that happens, anything in the future. If you can, let me know and we'll talk.
You said it, Purdue and Penn State, 2 good teams, but how do you not overreact? How do you not change practice going forward?
That's just what we've done, kind of going through the season. You play good two good teams on the road, just as we played a few good teams at the beginning of the year on the road. Okay, you're going to find yourself on the bad end of some of those, but we're still in really good shape. Record's good, RPI's good, so we just keep chugging along, and next match is on Friday.
RPI, you guys only drop 3 spots. Is that maybe a benefit to take away from playing these good teams?
Again, the metrics are the metrics. Those change constantly. If teams that you played earlier in the year start creeping up, your RPI goes up with it. So, again, it's not the metrics are something for we'll take a look. You guys will take a look, but I'm just out here trying to pass a good ball the next time we get an opportunity to.
Bianca's played a more involved role recent weeks. I guess what does her involvement mean? How does that change your team in the back row?
Yeah, again, just how to use her. A couple weeks ago, and she had a good spot sub in there. Serve's been good and playing good middle back defense. And so again, everyone's always got to be ready to go. Her time came up a couple weeks ago, and she's proven to kind of be someone who's capable of scoring points back there. So we'll keep taking a look at it. We always do, but she's doing great.
Laney's not enjoyed, I guess, the best of the past few games. How do you, as a coach, I guess, talk to a freshman and keep their head up and keep them from losing things?
You got to keep going. You got to keep swinging. That's what I told her. I say, you don't get back to it by getting more tentative. You keep attacking practice, and you attack every set that's given to you, and you still got to manage what you can manage. So it's always about kind of review and going from there. But one weekend doesn't define what you're doing. She's had a great year, and just reminded her of that. She had a great couple days of practice.
Getting back home, and what are you hoping to see kind of close out the regular season?
It's great that we have this stretch here at home. I thought a couple weeks ago, the crowd was as good as any that we've had, and I think everyone's feeling it too. And so it's good to always have your home environment, sleep in your own bed, be around friends and family, all that good stuff. And so this time of year, able to finish the last 3-4 out at home, I think is great.
I know Ashley Finn was a bright spot as a freshman. What did you see from her? It's allowed her to have an impact right away.
Yeah, everyone on the team just goes hard, and her, especially, she's really, always about trying to get better. She always wants the ball. If she makes a mistake, she wants the ball again. So she just has some of the intangibles that, sometimes it takes a long time to learn, but she's done it at a young age, and she's doing great.
Kari last week talked about that sort of mentality as a freshman coming in being a dog. When was the last time you had a freshman like that?
Yeah, good question. It's, I always feel that, every player that comes in here, has some of that capability. We've registered the last few classes. You put me on the spot. I can't think of it right now, but no, it's good that we have what's going on right now, and it's been really good. Just again, it's always talking about the team as a whole. It's not just one person. Everyone's playing a role, and those roles can change as time goes on. But I really appreciate how everyone's going after it hard in practice, and how they're taking it one day at a time, and that's what's led to the success that we've had already.
Rutgers, Minnesota coming up, I guess. What do you see in them that you could maybe exploit?
Yeah, again, they're all good teams this time of year. Rutgers, even though they're not having a year they want to, I always tell everyone they're the best, whatever the record is, team in the country, because this conference just, it's not going to go easy on you, and if you have the right makeup, you're just going to keep getting better every time you step out there. And been getting better. They've been taking sets off people. We got to be ready for their best. And UCLA, Minnesota coming up after them. Same thing. UCLA has been in a bunch of 5-setters that have been really heartbreaking for them. But I know their coach well. Having been an assistant here for me, and he's not going to let them go away easily. And they've had some really good matches. They took a set off of Wisconsin. Minnesota's been having a good year. So it's always just about taking the next opponent. Before we take the next opponent, we got to have a good practice tomorrow. Got to get rest and recovery tonight, all that good stuff. So we always talk about being in the moment. We just got to be ready for whoever's in front of us.
You've got ties to UCLA's coaching staff, and Illini and Ashland obviously have ties with Kiki over there. Like, what is that like having all these paths crossing in volleyball now?
When it's before and after the game, it's friendly. When it's in the game, it's not. And we're still, competing for our own teams, and it's just what volleyball is. It's kind of always intertwined, and always has been, always will be, in my opinion. Because to get to this level is hard to do, and we've passed cross, we have our paths have crossed many times, if I can speak, and we just have to be able to, when it's game time, obviously, and it's always fun when you get to play someone that but we know when the first whistle goes, it's everyone's out there for themselves and trying to get a win.
Reina had over 6 kills per set, this last weekend against 2 top 10 opponents. And she says herself that she's an old lady sometimes. Do you feel like she's heating up at the right time, or, like her body's doing what it needs to keep this momentum going?
Yeah, no, she's doing great. It's what you want your senior leaders to do, and she's been through the paces. And, I just had a conversation with her, last week about, she's doing great, and she's just kind of leading the way by example. And whenever she can do that, even when things aren't going well for the team, it always bodes well that we know that's there, and we know, we're going to get more production from the rest of the team these coming weeks.
Thanks, Chris.
Good. Yeah, thanks, guys.